That's what we said. Okay. Number 5, we said was 3. Number 8, we said was 33. Now, 60%.
Not 27.0.
Now,
It's not the same.
no, it's 270. Because 10% would be 45, right?
Oh, I just misplaced it. Oh, I
Yeah,
just-
it's all just a little decimal mistake. Not a problem. Any issues? All right, now number 14. Remember, 300% just literally means times 3. Because 300% is 3. All right. Any questions with that? 125%. Someone did a great job in the last class. 100% is 800. And then 25% is what fraction?
25% is 1/4 of it.
1/4. Right. So you just take 800 divided by 4, which is 200, and then add it together. So that's how we got 1,000 for that. Now, again, I really think this section is particularly important. That's why I took an extra day, all right, just to review it with you. All right. Anybody have any questions with that? And of course, 50% is just half, so that wasn't a big deal. Come on, I want you guys concentrating. I feel like you're playing around. What, Oliver?
I had trouble with this one.
Which one?
Number 23.
I haven't even said anything about it yet.
Oh, sorry, I thought we were on it. My bad.
All right. Now, 23, someone always says I have trouble with it. And I said at the beginning of the year, there are certain fractions that will make you better. All right, if you can remember them. All right. If you want to make 62.5% just 60%, all right, I would be okay with that. I wouldn't have a problem. All right. But I would also want everybody to know that 62.5% is the fraction 5/8. Now, how do I know that? Just because I've told you I've done it so many times. I know it comes up a lot. So what I did in the last class is I said, okay, these are the eighths again. All right. For those of you guys who still don't know the eighths, it's helpful when understanding numbers. If somebody says to you 12.5%, if you knew that was 1/8, that would be a good thing to know. 37.5% is the same as 3/8. 62.5% is the same as 5/8, and 87.5% is the same as 7/8. All right, that just makes you better with numbers. That's it. So in this problem, 62.5% is the same as 5/8, Oliver.
I know, but I have a question on the process. So it's 5/8 and then 80, and then it's blank over 80, right?
It's 5/8 times 80.
So you would do 80 times 5 divided by 8.
Or 80 divided by 8 times 5. 80 divided by 8 is 10. 10 times 5 is 50. That's why it's 50. Okay, so again, this problem is pretty hard for most kids. So if you know that, that's great. But who heard what I said? I can change 62.5% also to what? Yes, but what else? No, to 60%. If you didn't know that, you could just say, okay, I'm just going to make it 60%. And it's not a big deal. All right, then 60% of 80. You take 10%, which is 8, multiply by 6, and you would get 48. Is there that much difference between 48 and 50?
No.
No. What?
I have a question on some like the other ones, like.
I'm not on the other ones.
I mean-
I'm on 23. What?
I mean, like sometimes, like what if it was one that didn't turn into like 5/8 or something like that?
You would round it. Just
Yeah.
like we said, 62.5%. If you're not understanding 62.5% is
Oh.
5/8, just change it to 60%.
So if it was like 51.5%, could you just round it to 50?
Yes, that's what we're doing. It's exactly what we're doing. This is a specific case that I'm just telling you, I want you to know 62.5% is 5/8. Some of you don't care that it's 5/8, so you're not going to know it, right? We've done it 100 times already. All right, so eventually, after you do it 1,000 times, you might remember what I'm telling you. And it just is helpful with numbers, that's all. It just helps you be more accurate. All right, but we're estimating, so it doesn't matter. All right. So now if somebody said 75%, we would just say 75% is the same as what fraction? 3/4. So then you're just going to multiply 3/4 times 880. You with me on this? All right, anybody have any questions? All right. 60% of 2,500, 10%, and then multiply by 6. And then, of course, those of you guys who were listening, 900% just means what? 3 times 9. Thank you. 900% means times 9. That's all it means. All right. Now, the one I really want to look at is drop down to 47. Everybody drop down to 47. Where I wanted to do 0.5%. So how do I find 0.5% of something? Tell me.
0.5.
No.
Oh, would you just give like divide it by half?
Someone explain the process of getting, tell me.
So you can say it's possible. Well, first well, I determined what 10% is of 376, which would be 37.6. So therefore, 1% would be 3.76.
Right, because we don't have to do all that though, because 1%, we just move the decimal how many places?
Twice.
Twice. All right, you did it correctly. But I want everybody to know that 1% just means move the decimal 2 places. So 1%, he said correctly, would be 3.76, which is 1%. Now we're interested in what though?
Estimation.
0.5%. So what would I do to find 0.5%? Divide that by what? Divide that by 2. Now I don't really feel like dividing 3.76 by 2. So why we just rounded it to 3.8, divide that by 2, and that came out to be 1.9. All right. Yes, I'm totally proud of you for that, because that's exactly what 3.76 divided by 2 is. Exactly correct. But I just, if you want to do it quickly, okay. And you can see how 1.88 is not that far from 1.9. All right, Oliver.
So what I did was I took 376 times 2. Isn't that one of the things you can do for it?
No,
Well, okay, so then why can you do it for number 23 when you did 8? When you did divide by 8 you did 80 divided by 8 times 5. Why can't you do 376 divided by 2 times 1?
I don't know what multiplying 376 by 2.
Sorry, what I meant to say was, so on 23, you can do 80 divided by 8 divided by 80 divided by 8 times 5. Why can't you do 376?
62.5% is the fraction 5/8.
So 1%.
What are you asking me?
I just wanted to know why you could do that trick for this one, but not for the other one.
This is a completely different problem.
Okay.
This is 62.5%. That's the fraction 5/8. We are talking about 0.5%.
Yeah. So you can do it for 5/8, but not for 1/2.
5/8 is not the same as 1/2.
Yeah, but wouldn't the trick still work because it's a fraction?
No,
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
I don't understand why you don't accept the fact that just 1%, find 1% and divide it by 2. What?
I have a question on 2 problems. Number 1 is 44. Yeah, I know you turned it to 80. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to see that one. And then the other one was 50.
So we take 247%
Yeah, you'd round that one.
to 250, right?
Mhm. And then you turn the other one to 190, yeah.
You with me?
It was just a 2.5.
So, so what we did was 100% would be 190,
Mhm.
100% would be 190,
Yeah.
and then 50% would be half of 190, which is 95.
Oh, yeah.
Then I just added them together.
You get,
Yeah, approximately.
So if it's like, for example, 53, if it's 65, do you just keep it at 65 or can you round it to like 60 or 70?
I would say if you round this to 60%,
Then you gotta go up.
yeah, I'd probably make that like 90 or something.
Mhm.
You with me?
Mhm.
Or if you did this 70, I might make that 80.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it's still
So
gonna
make it
be
closer.
right, 54 and 56, right? That makes sense. So it's not that far off. All right. One last one.
Oh, yes. Yes, wouldn't would it be acceptable for, for example, on problem 15, around 246, around, both 247% and 192. You see, I rounded 247 up to 250% and 192 up to 200.
And I'm good with that.
Okay.
And that would just be 500 though,
For
right?
62, is it like the same as the?
Shh, shh.
Yeah,
Do you see that, Ryan?
Yes.
Okay. Now what?
I was about to ask about 62 too.
Yeah, is it the same as? 46?
Okay, I'll look at 62. I'm happy with that. Now, 62, please look.
Like you just move that to.
62, can you just listen for a second? All right, 1% would equal what again?
5.67.
5.67. Then we're just going to divide by what? Yeah, now I would just say then if I'm going to divide that by 6, I might as well just say it's close to 1, right?
Yeah.
And that would be your answer.
Okay.
Again, I think that's super nice. I don't mind taking my time because it's so important understanding how to estimate.
Mhm.
All right, when you go out in the real world and you want to start talking, right, it'd be nice to understand numbers a little better. All right, so I'm going to put it on pause real quick and I'm going to collect this worksheet. All right, let me see what you did. So what I want you to look at right now is we did the odds in the other class. I'm going to do evens again. Then I'm going to try to post the solutions and you can kind of check your work. All right. But what I need everybody to understand now is the translations. All right. The translation goes something like this. What, all right, is the question? All right. So that is the unknown. So we say that is X. Is in math always means what?
Equal.
Equals. And then of translates to what? Multiplication. All right. Those are the things that you have to know. And I think most people already know of just means multiply. All right. Is means equal. And what is the question? So that's your unknown. That's your variable. So again, this technique is what I would want everyone to do. But every year I have 3 or 4 kids say, can I just do the is over of percent? Do I care how you solve it? No, I'm just giving you 2 techniques and you can pick which one you want. Right now, this technique, we're always going to do the equations. All right, we're going to do the equations today. Then when you take your test, if you're like, man, I really prefer the is over of as percent, you can do it that way. All right, but I'm going to show you how simple this is. This is what I prefer. It's much easier. What?
When's the test gonna be?
You know what? I don't know yet. All right, but it's probably the end of next week. All right. So with that being said,
Can you set it up in a proportion?
yes. Today I'm teaching you how to set it up as a what? Equation.
Equation.
Just watch me. All right. You'll like it. I promise. It's super easy. All right. Super easy. All right. So here we go. What right off the bat translates to what? X. Is means what?
Above.
Equals. Yes, because you weren't listening to me.
I was, but I was confused. I don't.
All right. 10%. How do I write 10% as a decimal?
0.1.
0.1. Of in math means what? Multiply. So you're taking 0.1 and you are multiplying it by 100. All right. Now some of you are like, I already knew what 10% of 100 is. Yes. I'm totally agreeing with you. All right, but I'm teaching you a technique. I don't care about the numbers. I care about the translation. So everybody's going to write the translation down. And of course, 10% of 100 is what? 10. That's the answer. That's how simple. You don't need to do is over of anymore. Equals percent over 100. You can just literally do the algebra. All right. So again, number 4, Noah, how do I write that as an equation?
So X equals 32% of.
But how do I write 32% as a decimal?
132,
0.32 of means what?
150. Oh, of is what?
So now all you have to do is just take your calculator out and do 0.32 times 150, and you would tell me what that is.
48.
48. Does everybody get 48 with their calculators? All right, please do the work yourself. All right, Ryan, tell me about number 6. How do I write that as an equation?
25% of 60. 0.2, right, 0.25, and then 60 in parentheses equals 17.
Right, but what I want you to do is find is like the question. So that's what I have, x equals.
Okay.
All right. So now tell me what 0.25 times 68 is.
17.
Everybody okay with that being 17? All right, Forrest, you get to write the next one.
Okay, so that'd be X equals 0.75 parentheses 80,
Exactly.
and that would equal 60.
Yes. Okay, Emily, let's hear it.
Okay, so we do X equals 33.5.
Now remember, you got to move the decimal 2 places to the left to convert the percent.
So it's 0.5.
That's right.
And then you do in parentheses 22.
Exactly.
And
Tell me what that is.
uh, 7.32.
I'm happy with that.
Oh, wait, that's not right.
Is that right?
No.
Do it again then.
7,770.
You know, you forgot the decimal.
Oh,
Come on. 0.335 times 22.
7.37.
7 point what?
37.
Everybody okay with 7.37? All right, now come on. Listen, you know where the calculators are because I fussed at people yesterday about it. I said, get up and get your calculator. All right, if you don't have it, don't bother me. All right, someone else just got up and got a calculator. You can do that. All right.
Are they in this drawer? We don't remember.
Okay, open up the cabinet drawer right there. No, just never mind. Come on, pay attention, Oliver. Right here. This is the frustrating thing. Right here, every day, interrupt my class. All right. It's frustrating. Next. Now you got a different one, so you got to translate it for me.
All right, so it says 27.
27.
Equals what? It equals X. And then it's multiplication. So
Right.
parentheses 75.
That's it. That's how easy this is. Now, how do I solve this though?
Uh,
After you write the equation, you got to solve it by doing what?
do you have to put it over 100?
No. You're isolating the x. So to solve this equation, you have to divide both sides by 75. Now, why do we divide both sides by 75? Because that eliminates the 75. Do you hear me?
Mhm.
Let me go back a little bit, or you got that? Now, tell me what 27 divided by 75 is.
0.36.
How much?
0.36.
Now, notice it's asking for a percentage though, right? So this is the decimal answer. So what percentage is that? 0.36 is what percent?
Um,
Say it. Yes, sir. That's good. 36%. All right. So again, it's a one-step equation, which we did at the very beginning of the year. To undo multiplication, you do division. All right. So now Mr. Cappy is going to do the next one.
Okay. 85
Good.
equals X parentheses 500.
You're awesome. Just like that. So now what do I do?
You do the 85 divided by 500.
Yes, sir.
And then 500
85 divided by 500. Exactly
And that
correct.
would be. Uh, 4.25.
You did 500 divided by
Oh, no,
85.
sorry.
Come on. 85 divided by 500. The top number goes in first,
Yeah,
divided by the bottom one. What'd you get?
0.17 for
Right? So then that is equivalent to what percent?
17.
There you go, 17%. Please try and check your work as we're going. What, Oliver?
I don't understand how you set it up. So I get that you do 85 equals X in parentheses 500. And then I don't know how you solve it.
Divide
after
both
that.
sides by 500.
But mine looks, I don't know how you get the fraction in the right spot.
I divided both sides by 500.
Okay, but when I read it out, I don't know how to make a fraction though.
You put a little fraction bar, and then you put a 500 underneath the fraction bar. That's how you make a fraction.
So
So listen to the next person. Go.
1.3 equals X. And parentheses 918.
Okay, now that we have that written down,
I have to divide 918,
divide 918 on both sides.
which gives you. Yeah,
Which is the same as
35%.
35%. Perfect. All right, James, next.
So 126 is equal to X times 140.
Good job. Now what?
You divide on both sides,
By?
140.
Good. So tell me what decimal that is.
0.19.
Is that correct? No, I don't think it's 0.9. Divide it out for me, please. Stop playing around. I'm not telling you anymore.
My dad did 126 divided
And what did you get?
by 0.9.
0.9, okay. Which is what? What percent? Yes, 90%. Very good. All right, Claire, tell me.
So derivative of 78 is equal to X in parentheses 40.
Beautiful work.
And then you're gonna put both over 40.
Yes, you are. So what does that come out to be?
And then it's gonna be. Well,
You got,
it's 1.95, so would you just
yes, 1.95. So now that's going to be what percentage?
1.95%?
No,
Or do you have to move the decimal?
yeah, you always have to move the
So then
decimal.
it's 195.
You are correct. Thank you, girl. That's exactly right. All right, when it's asked for a percentage, you got to remember, you got to move the decimal 2 places to the right. All right, so now next, you got a new type of problem. So
So it'd be 9 equals. So you put the 48 in parentheses.
yes, what kind of, what is this?
Oh, so it'd be.
Yes, 0.45. And then
You can put the X in parentheses.
you can, but it's not necessary. What do I do next? Remember, you're trying to isolate the X. So I got to get X by itself.
Which is the Y,
By,
like,
yes, you divide by 0.45. Divide by 0.45. So X is equal to 20. Now notice it doesn't say percentage, right? So it's just 20, not 20%. Okay, that was nice. Tell me.
I didn't get how you do, 0.45 over 0.45.
Okay, so some of you are forgetting what we did at the very beginning of the year, which I'm okay with. So look up now. You need to tell yourself, I'm trying to isolate the X. You're always trying to isolate the X. So to undo this multiplication, you have to divide. You with me?
Mhm.
All right, now Lily's gonna do the next one, and I want you to try to set up the next one. All right, and see if you're coming up with the right answer. So go ahead, Lily.
It's 336 equals 0.48.
Yes, perfect. Now what do I do?
And then you divide 48.
Yeah, come on, that's easy. So Graham, do you see that now?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm waiting.
700.
700? Come on, guys. I just think that's so easy, right? The literal translation is very simple.
How many times do you move the decimal over?
We don't move the decimal because it's not a
I
percentage.
got 7.
Well, that's because you didn't do 0.48.
Oh, I didn't.
You with me?
Mhm.
It's 48%, which is 0.48. Okay, next.
Would it be 99 equals 0.9
You're perfect.
over 20?
Yep, divide by 0.9.
But I don't know what to do from here.
Just no, look, listen to me. These cancel out, right? So you're literally just doing this divided by this.
Um,
110 actually. So do it on your calculator just to show you. Because there's a decimal here. So that messed it up. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's 110. All right. Very simple technique. All right. Very simple technique once you learn the translation. Taj.
57 is equal to 0.01 x,
Exactly.
and then you put 0.01 under each.
Yes. Divide by 0.01.
57 divided by 0.01.
Uh-huh.
57, wait, 5,700.
Yes, 5,700 is correct. I don't think that's that bad. Come on, I really don't want you playing around. All right, I want you working. All right, don't bother the people.
No.
Okay, thank you. All right, Oliver, you're up.
Okay, so you do 87.1 equals 0.67x over 0.67 over 0.67. 87.1 divided by 0.67 equals 130.
Anybody else get 130? Now, Oliver, did you see how easy that is, right? All right, London, you get to do some word problems for me. All right, a little bit harder. All right, so read it to me.
Harold is interested in selling his father's baseball card collection. A local sports card dealer will sell the collection for Harold, but will collect a fee equal to 18% of the selling price. If the card dealer sells the baseball card collection for $325, what is the amount of the fee?
Right. So now he's going to take 18. Listen to me now, please, everyone. The company is going to take 18% of what? Of the money. So now listen to what I just said. 18% of the money is what he's taking. So 18% is written as what? What decimal?
0.18.
Of in math means what?
That means multiple.
Multiply. The money that's collected is how much?
325.
And that's what his fee is. That's how I'd want you to think about that. I don't, like I said, this is troubling for me because kids don't know the translations properly. So if you're not understanding my translation, then it doesn't matter. You're just writing it down. Does that make sense? All right. So tell me what that is.
It's 58.
So $58.50 is the fee for selling the cards. Is everybody okay with that? Okay, Noah, you get to read 34. Is that right? I'm asking 5850.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
58.50.
Okay. All right, Noah, read.
Brian has a coupon for an additional 25% off. The purchase for any sale of an barbecue. Find the bird bath at 10% off. The original price was $29. What is the price of the bird bath?
Okay, so you have a tough one here. All right, so how much? Never, you don't add 25% and 10%. You first have to take 10% and then you have to take 25%, okay? So how do I figure out, because it's on sale 10% off, right? And I know everybody's gone into the store where there's 2 discounts, right? You never add the discounts. All right, so this one's particularly important for you to listen to. So the first discount is what? What percent?
25%,
No,
10% off.
the first one is 10%. You with me?
Yeah.
So take 10% of 79. And tell me what that is.
7.9.
Yes. So the first discount is equal to $7.90. So instead of paying $79, what are you going to pay for the bird bath or whatever they're talking about here?
$7.
No,
Oh,
no, that's the discount. True?
Yeah.
So how much would you have to pay for it? If you said, okay, 10% off is a good deal, so you're going to go buy it. So what would you pay for it?
71.
Yes. So you would pay what? $79 minus $7.90, which is equal to $71.10. Is that what you got? That would be the cost after the discount. That's what I'd want you to understand. However, you got lucky and you got another what now?
25% off.
Right. So how do I do now? What are we going to take 25% off of? What number?
71.
That's right. So now you do 7110 times 25%. What decimal is 25% again?
0.25.
0.25. So what's the discount now?
17. Can I go?
Well, you round to a penny, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be what?
17.
Did anybody else get $17.80? That's another discount. All right. So now how do you find the original or the final price? What would I do?
You take
Come on.
17, 80, then divide by.
No, 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 no. How much?
Subtract.
Subtract, right? What am I subtracting?
71.
Right. 71 what though? 7110 minus 1780. Tell me what that is.
53.30.
$53 and what?
30 cents.
So after 2 discounts, you're going to have to pay $53.30. Now, again, I hope everyone in here understands the importance of that. You go to the store a bunch and use 2 different discounts. You can't ever just add the 2 discounts, right? And say, I got 10% off and 25%, so that's 35. That's not how it works. All right, you take 10% first and then 25%. All right, does anybody have any questions with that?
Yeah, can you leave it up for 1 more second? So you do 71.10 minus 1780.
Yes. All right, Forrest, you're going to read the last one for me.
So one buy $600 computer, but his total was $648.
Right.
What percent sales tax did he pay?
Okay, so now, again, this is hard for kids. All right, but can you tell me, just by looking at it, how much tax did he pay?
$48.
Paid $48. So I want everybody to put down $48 in tax. Now, we're interested in the percentage that is. All right, so I want you to tell me, what do you think you would do?
would you do 0.48?
No, because it's not a percentage.
Okay.
We're trying to find the percentage. Now, let me, everybody needs to write this down for me. The bill or the total times the rate is equal to the tax. Everybody needs to write that down. The total times the rate is equal to the tax. Would you agree with that? Right, so when you get a bill, you multiply by the tax rate, and that tells you what the tax is, correct? So what do we have so far? What was the total cost of the computer?
600.
I knew you were gonna say that. But that's including the tax.
Oh, okay, so $600.
$600. You understand me now, right? That's the problem kids have. They don't understand what I mean by total. The total bill that you have to pay is $600, right? That's what you're going to pay the company. Then you have to pay the government the tax. You with me? So this is the total cost of the computer times, do I know what the rate is? Do we know what the interest rate is?
Yeah.
No,
No, we don't. So that's your rate is unknown. And it equals, how much tax did we pay? $48. So if I'm trying to figure out this, just let me finish. So what do I have to do to figure out what the rate is to solve this equation?
We divide.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There you go. Divide by 600. And that would give you the rate. So what's 48 divided by 600? No, come on. Stop doing 600 divided by 48. The top number goes in first.
That would be
0.08. Now that's a decimal. So what percent is that? Put your hand down for a minute.
8%.
That's correct. So the rate would be 8%. All right, the rate would be 8%. Because you move the decimal 2 places, not 3. You with me on that? All right, Oliver, what?
what's the top number? How do you tell what the top number is?
I don't know what you mean.
Okay, so you have 600. You have 600 times rate equals 48. So when you do 600 divided by 48,
No, you're isolating the rate. Evens for homework. That is correct, guys.
like you have to do the like.
No, I'm sorry, the odds. Odds for homework.
Oh yeah.
We did the even, so you're doing the odds.
You have to do the work.
Everything. You have to do everything.
What was the answer to number 36?